Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to the Bass All Year channel. Appreciate y'all again tuning in today. I got my two pups out here on the lake today. Buddy of mine went up to his deer camp and he had this little tracker here, so he wired up the engine and the trolling motor, and we're out just running it for him and doing a little bit of fishing. So what's better than that, right? So we're just doing fishing really clear water. It's a deep, clear reservoir we're fishing today, and really just hoping for some feeding fish. Super gloomy day, gonna be cloudy, a little bit of rain coming through. So hopefully these bait fish are moving shallow and we can be able to catch some of these fish off these docks. And there's tons of points of grass, tons and tons of points of grass out here. So it's a big offshore lake. I'm hoping not a lot of pleasure boaters get out here, and I'm hoping the wind doesn't blow too heavy because it's pretty calm. It's only a 16-foot aluminum. So super cool little rig we got here. I'll show it to you real quick. I think it's a 2003 or 4 Bass Tracker. Little 25 on the back, external tank. It's typically it's duck hunting boat, as you can tell by the shells and waders. But we're gonna make it a little bass fishing rig today. So let's throw on the chest cam, get rigged up, try to catch us some fish. This lake is really just a huge clear water reservoir, estuary. I don't really know what you want to call it. Bag of my watermelon red flukes today. We're just gonna keep it super simple and easy. I brought 2 rods. I was like, you know what? I'll just bring a couple spinning rods and pond hop. I didn't know that I was gonna be having access to a boat. And the other one, I think I'm just gonna throw a worm on, but I don't have any more fluoro leader line. But all seriousness, man, this is a sweet rig. So like I said, it's a little 16-foot aluminum bass tracker. I got 2 big dogs in it. I still got plenty of room up here on the front deck for myself. Got Wally Womp right off this lily pad line. One thing I've noticed about, oh God, about fishing, honestly, any deep, I don't know if this is considered an estuary. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'll just put it below. I don't know if this is considered an estuary or reservoir. I don't really know, but I have noticed every time I fished it that it's really hard to get fish to commit to bites. Like, you really got to be on top of your game. So this is a 7'2" medium heavy, and I'm throwing a Senko on the 7-foot medium. Figure that will switch that up a little bit. See, this is a big grass line that kind of comes out 30-40 yards off the lily pad line. And then this is just a Lew's Mach 2 spinning combo. Some of you guys that are watching from up north, I'm not huge on spending a lot of money on my spinning tackle. I think I bought this reel for like 70 bucks or something. I don't bust these spinning tackle out a lot, so when I do, they get the job done. Typically I'm throwing like a weightless plastic or a shaky head around docks on it, not doing anything crazy. Yes, that is the reason I like cheaper spinning tackle, for the simple fact that it doesn't get taken out of my rod box quite often. Oh God dang, man, I'm getting smoked out here, but you can see that swirl right there. I just about killed that fish right there. I thought it was an absolute hammer, and I lost it. God. Dogs are like, what the heck? That was, I don't think that's the same fish. And these fish do tend to school up on bait together. That was an absolute slob, I think, that came up. I mean, that swirl was the size of this front deck. I flipped back out there and threw the camera back on, and that little girl hit, God, ripped my nipple apart. Oh my God, I thought that was an absolute hammer. This thing's not a very sturdy rod, so I wanted to make sure I buried that hook home. Got smoked while I was rigging my other rod. I'm telling you, that's why can't catch them unless the line's in the water, folks. Little. That was just a little fluke fish out there deep water. Chasing bait. So we're gonna take our big old Sharpie we have here. You gotta pull some tension. And you just color this thing. I usually go up a good 2 feet or so. And that's just a big old Sharpie king size. Again, does it do much? Who knows, but if it helps you mentally and it gives you that edge mentally, then go for it. Bomb this, we're gonna keep fishing offshore. It's the only really spot we're getting hit. So this was super random fish. I was literally reeling my Senko in. Little fat. Give him a kiss. Mwah. Rosie's a little tired. Decent little one. Well, they're definitely offshore. They're definitely chasing. They're definitely chasing today. All my bites have been when the bait is moving. Oh, mossy back here. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. So Eric Tilson caught a 10-pounder off this dock last time he fished it last week. So we're gonna see if he's still there. Just kidding, just got y'all. No, he caught. Oh God. Look at that, I skipped the hook out of the worm. Eric and I fished this lake one time and got on a really good swim bait bite, which is like non-existent today, of course. But he caught a freaking stud off that dock. Oh my God. I hit into these fish like they're going to be massive. It's like all a last year spawns fish decided that they want to come out and eat today. Not last year's spawning fish, last year's fish that were born because of the spawn. Alright y'all, so that was up in Central Florida. We are now in Tampa, Trevor's condo here, and we're fixing to do some snook fish tomorrow. We're filming in the midst of seems to be a hurricane, so you'll probably see some lightning here, some thunder. But I wanted to talk about these two rods. We were fishing there on the lake with the dogs. We were able to catch a ton of little fish, man. I probably caught 30 fish that day that were 12 inches on a dang wacky rig. And like the title says, buy one, get one free. Dick's ran an awesome promotion deal with the Carbon Fire, the older Carbon Fire rods. And as you can see with these ones, these are the new Carbon Fire rods. So there was actually only two left at the Dick's Sporting Goods. There was one bait cast of the older Carbon Fire model and two of the newer model, which is this. And I basically got with the manager. I've made videos like this before where I talked to retail managers about, you know, helping them move product. So I was able to get the buy one get one free for the newer Carbon Fire rods, and there were only two spinning rods. Again, these were the last two in the store, so I helped him move them. He made a sale, I got a good deal. It's awesome. And the first one again is the 7-foot medium, just this one here. And we'll come back to the reel. Then the other Carbon Fire here, which is honestly my favorite spinning rod I think I've ever had. It's a 7.2 medium heavy. This thing's awesome to throw in weightless plastics. And I really enjoy shake a hit on docks. It's kind of like if you see me with a spinning rod in my hand, I'm probably throwing a shake a hit around docks. And that is one bad setup for it. It's got tons of power to really drive a hook home. With 30-pound braid, it's also really good with throwing a weightless fluke, like I said. It's really good for school fishing and everything. And that's got a little live bait hook set up for tomorrow. So this will be the main rig, and that has the Mach 2 spinning reel on it. Great combo, man, and especially for the buy one get one free at the price I was able to get for these, then a freaking awesome rod. Really can't say anything better about these Carbon Fire rods. But back to the reel. So a little dusty because I ain't used it in a while. I got the reel for 30% off total. It was marked down 20%. It was the display model, and it was actually broken. So many spinning models are like this. If you have one that's like this, it's probably the only thing that's wrong with it. But if you screw off the handle, there's a little plastic, I don't know if you want to call it a seal or pinion bearing, I don't know exact term for it, but it's a little black, sometimes white plastic seal inside of there, and it helps hold the handle and everything nice and plumb, flush and tight inside the reel, so you've got no movement on the handle. Well, that was broken on the display model. I knew I had extra ones from other Lew's reels, because really most Lew's reels are all the same, if you want me to be dead honest with you. Most, if you pick up a $300 reel and a $90 reel, the build is pretty much the same. Really, the internals and the external components change. It really just becomes eye candy is what you're paying for. I mean, a $100 reel definitely doesn't feel like a $300 reel from Lew's, but all in all, it's not a huge difference with the external builds. Anyways, I knew I had extra parts, so I got the reel 30% off. I think it came out to like $52 or something crazy like that. And again, it's nothing crazy. I actually got it to give away, so be on the lookout. We were gonna be giving this reel away. Yeah, so 30% on the reel off, and pretty much 50% off on the rods, but buy one get one free. So Dig Sporting Goods, man, I've always gonna be Big Thunder or not, I've always promoted Dig Sporting Goods. Really enjoy the store. Big shout out to Cooper, who always lets me know of the big sales and deals going on, to check my local retail shops. So again, Lew's Carbon Fire, check them out at Dig Sporting Goods or Dig Sporting Goods exclusive. Again, hope y'all enjoyed that video. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Catch y'all right back here on the Bass All Year channel for some more awesome content. Until next time, see y'all.